This is Fluency Module 3, Lesson 4. We're going to continue with some area and perimeter work, and then we're going to try doing some things that will head us into this next unit, that the next lessons that we'll be working on. So the first thing we're going to do is rename the unit, and this shouldn't take you very long. What I am going to ask you to do is have your whiteboard and marker ready. And this time, last time we just said them, this time I want you to actually write down what the number would be as you rename them. So for instance, 8 tens, if we were to rename that, well, 8 tens is, is 80. Okay, so do you understand what we're going to do? 9 tens, write it on your board. 90. 11 tens, write it on your board. 110. 14 hundreds, 1,400, and 14 thousands, making sure that you have your comma and enough zeros there. 18 tens, 180, 28 tens, 280, 28 hundreds, 2,800, and 28 thousands, 28,000. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm sure you have, and you're paying attention to whenever you have to, when you have tens, you need to just take your number and add 1 0, right, for 10. And hundreds, we add 2 zeros. Thousands, we would add 3 zeros. And that's a little bit a trickier way to, not necessarily tricky, but helps us get that in your head. All right, we are going to do counting by multiples of 10 and 100. So the first thing we're going to do is count by threes to 30. And then we're going to count by 3 tens. And if we're counting by 3 tens, then we're going to stop, rather than stopping at 30, we would stop at 30 tens, which is 300. All righty. We are going to start here. I will stop occasionally and say what is the number associated with the unit name that we just said. All right, we'll count by threes to 30. Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. That one we didn't stop because we were saying the actual number. So now we'll do it again, and this time we're going to say 3 tens, and we'll start that way. So 3 tens, 6 tens, 9 tens, and what is that number? 90. 12 tens, 15 tens, 18 tens, 180. 21 tens, 24 tens, and what would that be? 240. 27 tens, and 30 tens, which would be 300. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to, except this time we're going to count by fours. We'll start by counting just fours to 40, and then again we'll do the 4 tens. So let's start with 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. All right, we're going to do it again now with the 4 tens. And I will stop you sometimes and say, okay, say what is that number? All righty, here we go. 4 tens, 8 tens, 12 tens, 16 tens, and what is that? 160. 20 tens, 24 tens, 28 tens, which would be 280, 32 tens, 36 tens, 40 tens, and 40 tens is 400. All right, let's do the same thing. We're counting by sixes this time. We'll start with just regular 6. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. All right, that should maybe have been a little bit harder because it won't be as familiar to you. But as you practice, what you're really doing is you're doing your multiplication, right? You can say, you could count on your fingers. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So as you practice that, that's going to become easier and easier for you to do. All right, we're going to count by 6 tens. Here we go. 6 tens, 12 tens, 18 tens, 24 tens, 30 tens. And 30 tens is 300. 36 tens, 42 tens, 48 tens, 54 tens, which is 540. And finally, we end with 60 tens, which is 600. All right, good work on that. Let's move on, and we're going to work a little bit more with area and perimeter. So on your board, which you will need, I want you to draw. We're going to start right here with this very first rectangle, 9 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So we're going to draw 9 centimeters long, 2 centimeters wide. Obviously, I'm not totally accurate, but somewhere in there. And 2 centimeters. And we're going to find the area. And we're going to find the perimeter. Hopefully you remember our formulas. I will give them to you one more time. Length times width for area. And perimeter was 2 times length plus width. Alrighty, for the area. We have 9 centimeters times 2 centimeters. And 9 times 2 is 18 square centimeters. So that's our answer there. Perimeter, if we look at that, we have 2 times the length plus the width. So 2 times our length is 9 centimeters, our width is 2 centimeters. And that is equal to 9 plus 2 is 11, and 2 times that is 22. All right, 22 centimeters. Okay, I'm going to try and figure out my eraser. It is really stubborn, and it seems to take me forever to try and get it done. Oh, working a lot better this time. All right, let's look at that second one. Again, a rectangle, 7 centimeters times 5 centimeters. A little bit more like this, 7 centimeters, 5 centimeters. And I want you to go ahead and do that work yourself. So pause the video, do the work, and then come back and see if we agree on what we've done. So for the area, we would have 7 centimeters times 5 centimeters, which is 35 square centimeters. Perimeter would be 2 times the length plus width. So 7 centimeters plus 5 centimeters is 12. 2 times that would be 24 centimeters. Alrighty. Let's see what we can come up with if you've got all this other stuff down. I think by now you should be feeling pretty confident with this. So we have a square. Oh, no, we don't. You know what? I see I've got a little bit of a typo there. So I apologize. We have this. We've got 3 meters times 8 centimeters. So we've got a 3 meter width and 3 meter length, 8 centimeter width. Alrighty. And again, pause the video, put your answer in, come back. So for this one, the area, we have the length times width. So 3 centimeters times 8 centimeters, and that is 24 square centimeters. And for perimeter, we 2 times the length plus the width, so we add 3 plus 8, which is 11, and 2 times that is 22. I feel like a lot of these answers are 22. Alrighty, let's go on to the next page. Page here, we're going to just do squares. So again, on your board, draw squares, and you can, if you want, you can draw both of them right now. Just do your best to, wow, that does not look like a great square. But we're going to pretend it's accurate. and each side of that one is 7 centimeters. Same thing that we did before. I want you to turn off your, pause the video and go ahead and find your answers, and then turn it back on, and we'll see if we agreed. All right, for this first one, a square, area, again, our formula is length times width, so we would have 7 centimeters times 7 centimeters, and that would give us an answer of 7 times 7 is 49 square centimeters. Let's look at another one. This is where all that practice, remember we practiced all those numbers, and I'd say a number and then you would times it by itself, and that's called a square number, and that's how we find our squares here. Again, pause the video, come back when you've completed it. All right, let's look at this first one. Area, 8 centimeters times 8 centimeters, because we're timesing our length times our width. And that is 8 times 8, 64 square centimeters. I'm actually realizing I don't think we found the perimeter on the other one. We'll find the perimeter here first, and then we'll go back. The perimeter is 2 times the length times the width. So 8 plus 8 is 16, and 2 times 16 is 32 centimeters. Let's go back to this one over here, the square of 7 with 7 for the sides. So we would have added 7 centimeters plus 7 centimeters, which is 14, multiplied that by 2, and we would have gotten 28 centimeters. We don't know. So we're going to find. Very last thing that we're going to do here, this is where you have the unknown side. So we've got an area of 10 square centimeters, a length of 2 centimeters, and a width between that. So draw your square, your rectangle. We've got a length of 2, and we're not sure what our width is. We know that that's x. So let's put 2 centimeters in and x for our width. We do know our area, so going back to that formula of area equals length times width, we're going to just plug numbers in. So we have an area of 10 square centimeters. So I'm going to put that in there for area. And I know my length is 2 centimeters. And I don't know what my width is. So I look at that and I say, well, 2 times what equals 10? And you should have come up pretty quickly with 5 centimeters as the x on that side. Okay, the next one, we have an area of 35 square centimeters. I'm just going to write this in here right now. And I have a length of 5 and a width of x. I don't know what it is. So my length, I'm going to put that in 5 centimeters times what is equal to 35. Hopefully you figured out that that would be 7 centimeters. 5 centimeters times 7 centimeters is 35 square centimeters. I'll accidentally turned my iPad off. That wasn't a very good idea. So here's our last one. We have an area of 54 square meters. So I'm just going to write that right here because I know that's where it goes in my formula. I have a width of 6 meters, and I don't know what my length is. Okay, so I have a width of 6 meters, and I'm not certain what my length is. But looking at this, I think, okay, well, 6 times what number is equal to 54? If you remember your multiplication, it's 9. So 6 times 9 meters is 54 meters. Another way that you can do these problems, when we know what we have on our, we know what our area is, the other thing you could have done is say, well, 54 divided by 6, which is the thing I know, will give me my other length. And I should always put my labels in, but I didn't. Okay? All right. I think that that finishes us up for today. And hopefully you understood and you're getting much faster and much more confident in these things. Have a good day.